welcome back to another episode of Automobile Resurrection. We're going to finish pulling this engine and transmission out today, and then we're going to tear the engine down to see what all has been damaged. Alright guys, now that we got the motor and transmission out of the car, we're going to separate the transmission from the engine. guys, we're at a very pivotal point in our project here. We have actually discovered what has happened to our engine and why it failed. And unfortunately, it's actually due to a manufacturer design rather than a failed maintenance or a past maintenance. So the actual cause of this engine fail is from the oil cooler. That is correct. A very poorly designed oil cooler. And the reason this is a poorly designed oil cooler is because, number one, my number one reason I hate this design is because this is a plastic canister. And this is not actually the reason that our engine failed. It is actually in the gasket design on the bottom here. But had this been in an area like on the oil pan as a Chevy has it, it would have been a lot more noticeable and easy to diagnose. But unfortunately, by the time this has filled the valley of the engine and is pouring down the back of the bell housing where you're most likely not looking at for an oil leak, it has leaked too much oil to be savable. This is just a poor design because this plastic canister can be torqued down to a point that it can crack, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're likely going to do that. The good thing that they did do is give you a torque spec on the lid. Hopefully that torque spec is nowhere near the point of cracking this. So yeah, the reason the engine failed was because there are 4 gaskets on the bottom of this oil cooler, and these 2 are still on the engine, but you can see that this one has begun to concave here and this one has concaved all the way around. That being an issue because it is now allowing oil to pass between the gasket and into the valley of the engine. So guys, if you're having an oil loss on a 3.6 Pentastar, be sure to go ahead and take a look at your oil cooler. It is underneath the intake. And another really poor design was they obviously weren't thinking about this in this design. They put a piece of foam between the intake and the oil cooler so you cannot even see the oil cooler or that the valley is filling with oil. Okay guys, this is your 3.6 Pentastar timing assembly. I just wanted to take a minute to explain this so you have a better understanding of it. There are 4 cams. This is where the term dual overhead cam was coined from. You have here your guides all the way around. You have one that is a tensioner and a guide, and then you've also got here your tensioner here, tensioner there, and tensioner here. To keep pressure on the chains. This is your crank, your oil pump, and these are very essential parts. This is probably the most important piece here. It runs from one end of the engine to the other end. It has your pistons and all of your main bearings attached to it. So now that we have a clear picture of what we're looking at, we're going to go ahead and remove the timing chains and the cams. Alright guys, I just want to show you 2 quick things that show that this head has actually been worked on before. One of them being that this bolt here was actually already backed out and loose, where this one over here was also loose, not backed out. So whoever worked on this did not torque all of the bolts to spec. So we're going to continue with the breakdown and see what else we find. Alright guys, so that's going to be a wrap for this video. Now that we've essentially taken the head off and seen what was going on inside the cylinder walls there, we know that the engine is most likely not going to be any good, and we're probably not going to reuse very much off of this engine, if anything at all. So with that being said, we're going to end this video here. I do want to fill you in a little bit about the thumbnail. We did have a tornado touchdown in the neighborhood, just actually a few hundred yards from my house. Everything is good. There was only one home that appeared to have damage. Also, we are going to be talking about a locked up engine, and I'm going to show you how to rebuild or replace that engine as well. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
best friend. And it's shaking big time.
Boy, Cal, I don't like the way you're talking out there.
Damn the torpedo!